question. What
Yeah,
advice do you self-sabotaging yourself? The problem
advice and
yeah, about self-sabotage. I have that problem a lot when trying to do anything about my improvements or work or even planning anything in my life. I always find a way to self-sabotage my plans, everything.
okay. And when you self-sabotage, I want you to give me an example. What do you tell yourself whenever you self-sabotage?
That it's not worth it. Whatever you'll do, eventually it will only come, it will fall apart. Like there's no chance of winning. There's always something that will happen that will sabotage your plan. It's like finding excuses to failure.
Yeah, and could you give me an example of a situation that has happened? So whether that's work, a relationship, maybe dating, family, friends, it happened at any time?
Uh, in everything, like in finding relationship, work, school, doing projects, anything. You always find an excuse to avoid all of that, especially when you
Yeah,
try yourself. It becomes a bigger problem.
yeah. Okay. And we'll use dating as an example just so I can really focus and hone in on one of the aspects. See
Yeah.
with dating, how many dates have you been on? And what would you say the general census has been? How have they went?
Uh, so, as an example of me trying to self sabotage myself, is like in this instance when you tried, like you gave the opportunity to ask questions. I looked for any excuse not to. Like could be my question could not be that important. Like there isn't that much that you can help me with. So that's one example of many that I have in my life.
Okay. No, brother, that 100% makes sense. I'm glad you used that example. It's actually a very relevant example and something that I struggle with myself. So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, it's like, for example, in this case, in the call, you went to this call, you got value from it. There was the Q&A. I
Yeah,
asked if you had any questions. You felt you did have questions, but you chose not to say it because you were afraid maybe, oh, it might not be important or it might sound like a stupid question.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, okay. And when you ask the question now, do you feel like what you told yourself when you were self-sabotaging has actually came true?
No, no, that's the problem. Like uh, the times when I try to take initiative, all that excuses, all that scenarios that I play in my head, mostly they aren't true. And most of the time, everything when I try to make an effort, mostly it turns out all right. But still, there's always that seed of doubt in my plans, in my opinions, and everything.
Yeah. Okay. 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm just writing this down. Seed of doubt. Okay, so when you have done it, it's mostly not true what you tell yourself when you self-sabotage. Whenever you do try to take effort, normally it actually turns out okay. But whenever you do the thing, as you're doing it, there's that seed of self-doubt.
Yeah, yep,
Okay. And brother, I want you to know, like this goes with absolutely everything. And it's if you tell yourself that whenever you ask a question that you need to feel fully confident, well, you're always going to feel that self-sabotage whenever you're asking the question. But it's about accepting that whenever you do things that you haven't done before, whenever you do things that are different, whenever you do things that are scary, there is going to be a wee bit of sabotage. There is going to be that voice in your head that tells you, oh no, you can't do it. And like, even for me, I get it too. The only difference is that the difference isn't that I don't have a voice. The difference is that I just always tell myself that, all right, the voice is there, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, like, if I were to ask a girl for a number, mate, I literally just have to, like, it's all that takes over. That voice being like, this isn't going to work, because it hasn't worked so many times. There's been more times where it hasn't worked than it has worked. And there has been times where it works. Same with you. You've told me that there's been times when it worked, but despite there being evidence that you can do it, you're still going to have that wee bit of doubt. And I have this concept and this belief that you don't have to believe in yourself. You don't have to believe that it's going to work out. You don't have to believe anything, because you're not always going to believe in yourself. It's built in as a human to not always believe in yourself, to keep yourself safe. But here's the thing, you don't have to believe in yourself. All you have to do is take the action. That's it. And here, asking this question, you've took the action, it worked. If you were going to go up to a girl, or if I was going to go up to a girl, it's taking the action. That's it. And you're probably telling yourself that success is asking a smart question, or that success is asking a question and it not being dumb. That shouldn't be success. And success shouldn't be getting a yes from a girl, asking her out. Success should just be asking the question. Because if you ask the question, if you just go for it, you've already won, because you've self-sabotaged. The voice has been speaking, but you've ignored it. And every single time that you ignore that voice is a win. And every time you ignore that voice, it comes slightly easier, but the voice is never going to go. And I know myself that it's got slightly easier, but it hasn't actually fully got easier. I've just got better at ignoring it. So no matter what, when you ask a question, you need to accept that the voice will tell you this, the voice will tell you that. But guess what? That voice, it's all in your head. It's all an illusion. The voice isn't real. The only thing that is real is what's in front of you. And if you haven't asked a question and you're worrying about asking a question, it's false. Like, there's nothing there. So what you should just do is ask the question. If you find out that, all right, maybe it is a stupid question, well, you've learned. At least you know now. At least you've opened that door and you know what's inside the door, rather than being outside the door and thinking, all right. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is regret. And regret's that's one of people's biggest things when they're dying. They have regret. And the only thing that is guaranteed is that we are all going to die. So do you want to live a life where you might look a bit stupid, might ask a stupid question, where you might get rejected, where you might get called names, but you still are proud of yourself? Or do you want to live a life where you're regretful of it all and you're not happy with yourself? And there comes a point where you say, right, do I want to live my life for other people and think about what other people think? Because even ask the question, you're probably thinking, all right, what's the other people in this call going to think? Am I going to live my life for what other people say? Or am I going to live my life for myself? And the truth is, the only thing that matters is that you're proud of yourself. Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what someone else in this call thinks. Doesn't matter what my AI note taker thinks. It just matters what you think. Did I ask the question? Yes, I'm proud of myself. Did I not ask the question? No. Why didn't I do it? What am I going to do next time to improve? And that's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, true. Yeah, thank you a lot. Because lately I can't afford any more regrets, and I'm trying my best to get rid of my hesitation when it comes to everything.
Yeah, that's it. And you are going to hesitate. Don't tell yourself I shouldn't hesitate, because if you tell yourself you shouldn't hesitate, whenever you hesitate, you're going to feel doubt. Don't tell yourself that you shouldn't feel nervous, because whenever you feel nervous, you're going to not do it. Even me, coming onto this call, I was nervous, but you just ignore it. That's it. And you use action to ignore it. It's all you can do. Just push the dominant, and you do it anyway. And you let whatever happens. If you look like an idiot, you look like an idiot. At least you don't have regrets. At least you know that you look like an idiot now, rather than always thinking, am I going to look like an idiot? I'd rather know fully within myself that I look like an idiot than always think, right, am I an idiot? Am I putting on illusion? And that just comes from going for it. So, yeah, is that all useful then?
Yeah, thank you a lot. Thanks for your time. I know I really appreciate your help. So
No problem, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Sure, shoot me a message on Instagram if you need anything else.
Yeah, I will do. So thanks a lot, and wish you a great day.
All right, brother. Same to you. Have a good one. Have a good Sunday.